So my story is our Ukrainian connection. So it's 1993, February, and John and I, my husband John, we have just landed in Kiev, in Ukraine, and we're there because we may, just maybe, be able to bring home a little boy, an orphan, a year and a half old, Sergei and Cora. So we get there, and this is 1993, so it is very soon after the breakup of the Soviet Union, and it's a chaotic time, and there are some very good-hearted people who, in a very ad hoc, informal way, are starting to put together potential parents in the West with the large numbers of children in orphanages in the East. So we're there, and so we get off the plane, and this is really still, we're all collectively still in a post-Cold War mindset. And so the first officials that we encounter are the very stern immigration people and the customs people. And we go through immigration, and we show a very hard-won visas. Relations were just beginning to happen, and people were just beginning to, the first inklings of traveling to the ex-Soviet bloc countries. So in order to get a visa, we needed a plane ticket. In order to get the plane ticket, we needed a very particular document. In order to get that very particular document, we needed the visa. So we too had our catch-22, and we went through that a few weeks before, and that was the beginning of my labor pains. Just because you adopt doesn't mean you don't have labor pains. So we go through that. So we go through with our visa, we get through, and we meet other Americans. So there's 7 of us total, 3 couples and a single woman, Shirley. And we get on the other side, and we're met by two of the people in this ad hoc adoption network. And because it's not only the fall of the Soviet Union, but it's the beginning of the internet. And this is all being organized in this very fledgling internet, but very uncertain, and we really have no idea if any of this is going to work out. So, and in the meantime, we had left our 4-year-old son home with a family friend, and we really have no idea how long this is all going to go on. So anyway, we get there, and our 2 hosts, one of the guys, Peter, he's going to escort us on the overnight train from Kiev to Odessa. But we had this day to kill, and they're very proud of their city, and they're showing us around, and it's Dr. Zhivago cold and Dr. Zhivago dreary. And we pile into this Soviet-style bus, and we're seeing the sights, and it's nice, until at one point the bus breaks down, and the driver says, okay, get out. So there's 9 of us, we get out, and we're all in our, dressed for basically, Russia in the winter, and we're pushing the bus, and lo and behold, it starts, we get back on, we see some more, and it happens again, and we do it again, and we're getting kind of used to this. And then we get on this midnight, we go to the train station, we're getting on this train to Moscow, train to Odessa, on the train to Odessa, and our tickets had been reserved, and we were told, whatever you do, you don't want people to know you're American. And just like adoption in any country, it's expensive. And we're carrying collectively like $40,000 in cash on us because there's no way to transfer money or anything. So it's all legal, and it's not bribes per se, but we're carrying a lot of money, and we're trying to pretend that we're blending in, right? Like they said, don't talk, don't speak English when you're out and about, but we're in our Western clothes, and the guy, Peter, who's with us, he goes to get our tickets, and he goes up to the conductor, and he gives her the tickets, and we don't understand anything that's being said, but it's very clear. Niet, niet, niet. We are not getting on this train, but we need to get on this train. And it's going on, and we're anxious, and we're got all this money, and we also have all this luggage, including a lot of humanitarian supplies. So we've got all this stuff that at that time period you could not ship to Ukraine because it never would get there. It would get stolen in transit. So we've got all this stuff, medical supplies and things like that. And we need to get on the train, and we're not sure we're getting on. Long story short is that he bribes her, which is what she wanted, and we find out that the bribe is $200. And we're carrying tens of thousands of dollars, and in the scheme of everything, the plane tickets, the train tickets, and everything else, if we had only known. Anyway, we get on the train, overnight train to Odessa. We get into Odessa, and we're met by, there's 3 drivers and 3 interpreters, 3 cars that come to meet us. And these are Soviet-era cars. In no way 1990s safety standards, is nothing like that. So we get in, and we've got a driver and interpreter in our car, and Shirley's with us. John's in the front seat, the driver, Sasha's in the car. We squeeze in, I'm in the middle, and we're in the car, and we get chased by the police, and because they want more bribes, because we have lots of luggage and lots of, they want bribes because of the luggage and everything else. And so we go on, we get chased by the police. We have to deal with various officials and everything else. And many other stories later of John being held hostage in Russia and everything to get our visa. But now Gregory, Sergei, who's now Gregory, is 24. He lives in Philadelphia. And it all worked out in the end, but challenging.
Cheer for Barbara.